Good afternoon and welcome. At this time, I'd like to call our Suffolk City Council work session to order. We do have two topics for discussion this afternoon. Mr. Manager, our first one is youth summer programs.
Yes, Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of council, the Director of Parks and Recreation, Mark Furlow, will provide the staff report on our upcoming summer youth programs. Mark?
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of council. Tonight I'll be speaking to you about the summer programs that will be offered through Suffolk Parks and Recreation, Suffolk Public Libraries, and Tourism Department for youth this summer. Back again this year is our very popular Planet Recreation program. I'm happy to report that it is full at most locations. I think we have a few spots left at Curtis Military Recreation Center, but this popular summer camp offers arts and crafts, games, clubs, fun activities, and field trips every year. We also have something for the teens. Our Discover Your Future program is offered at Bennett's Creek Recreation Center and the East Suffolk Recreation Center, and it also offers a lot of the same activities from Planet Recreation, but for older kids. For kids youth that are looking for a little more responsibility, we offer our Counselor in Training program. This gives teens real work experience in a volunteer setting, and they're working with they're working as counselors in our summer camp programs. We also offer a lot of specialty camps over the summer. Our Hoops for Life, which teaches basketball fundamentals to youth. We also have, we even have some local basketball legends come out from time to time to speak to the kids. We've had former WNBA star Sugar Rogers come out before. We also have our Culinary Kids Cooking Camp, where kids learn how to cook. Outdoor Explorers Camp, which is our outdoor adventure camp, art camp, and Hook a Kid on Golf. We also have our Therapeutics Camp, which is offered to children with disabilities, and that will be, that used to be offered at Planners Club, but we are changing the location this summer to East Suffolk Recreation Center. We also have a little more, we have open recreation available to the youth this summer. So we'll have open recreation at our 3 standalone recreation centers where youth can use game rooms, computer labs, and basketball courts. The times that those will be open are going to vary. You'll have to check the local recreation center for the times that they'll be open. And then we also have the Cypress Park Pool, which will be opening Memorial Day weekend. It'll be open weekends until June 25th, and from then on it'll be open Tuesday through Sunday through the end of the summer. We have a lot of different fitness activities that are available for youth and for teens, and a lot of different programs that are we offer at the recreation centers and outdoor for youth and teen too. And then we have special events which are available to all ages. Back this year is our very popular TGIF Summer Concert Series, and we're really excited to be at our new location downtown, the Downtown Festival Park. The first 4 concerts will take place there, and then the concerts on the northern end will, of course, return to Bennett's Creek Park. We'll also be providing our Saturday cinema program, where we show movies outside in the parks, and they'll be at various locations. They'll be moving around to different parks throughout the summer. And Tuesday, July 4th, we will hold our annual Stars and Stripes Spectacular at Constance Wharf Park. Fireworks display will start at 9 p.m. And new this year, we're going to be doing a 50 Fest to help celebrate the 50-year anniversary of the merger of the City of Nansemond and the City of Suffolk. We'll have 70s music from the band Inside Out, and then we'll be showing the movie Superman, the original 1978 version. Suffolk Public Libraries will be offering a Shelfbound Sound local artist showcase on May 18th at Morgan Memorial Library. And then you can come celebrate Juneteenth with Suffolk Public Library on June 18th at Morgan Memorial Library. There'll be food, crafts, workshops, and performances. On June 22nd, Suffolk Public Libraries will be offering their cardboard camp. Youth will have an opportunity to use their creativity to build things out of cardboard. On June 28th, you can celebrate Pride Fest at the North Suffolk Library from 5 to 8. And then on July 20th, Suffolk Public Libraries will be offering Summer is Splendid from 6 p.m. to 8 at the North Suffolk Library. Suffolk Public Library will be holding a National Teen Lock-In on July 26th from 6:30 to 9:30 at the North Suffolk Library. And on August 3rd, get ready for the amazing Peanut Chase. Where in Suffolk is Mr. SD Peanut, which will be on August 3rd from 1 to 4:30 at Morgan Memorial Library. Of course, Suffolk Public Libraries will be offering their Summer Reading Challenge again this year. This will go on from June 15th to August 10th, and their goal is to reach 20,000 books read. The Suffolk Department of Tourism will be opening up their farmers market ongoing for Thursdays from 3 to 6 at Bennett's Pastures Farmers Market. Ongoing to November 23rd, Suffolk Farmers Market, which is in the pavilion at the Visitor Center. And then the Bridgeport Farmers Market will be May 12th through the 25th on the second and fourth Sundays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. New this year at Bridgeport, they'll be doing the West Side at the Silos Summer Concert Series. This will be Fridays and Saturdays from 6 to 9 p.m. and it'll run from May 31st to August 31st. At the Suffolk Center for Cultural Arts, there'll be an exhibit on view until May 18th, Walk on the Wild Side. And then Wednesday, May 15th at 7 p.m., they'll be showing the play Every Brilliant Thing. On Saturday, May 18th, the Hit Men of Country will be in concert at the center. And they'll have exhibits on view from June 6th to July 13th, the Glasswater exhibition. Currently at the Suffolk Art Gallery, we have the Color, Form, and Soul exhibit. It's an exhibition featuring Tim Giles, Ray Johnson, Dathan Kane, and Clayton Singleton, and Ken Wright. And then June 18th through July 19th, the Suffolk Art League show will be on exhibit. Summer film series at the Suffolk Center, which are available for $2 per person. On Sunday, June 9th, they'll be showing Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. On Sunday, July 14th, they'll be showing Where the Crawdads Sing. And on Sunday, July 11th, they'll be showing Elvis. July 13th through 20th is Suffolk Sweets Week, and citywide bakeries and eateries will be participating. On July 27th, the American Girl program will be at the Riddick's Folly House Museum, and it will be featuring Corrine Tan. On Saturday, August 7th and Sunday, August 18th, the 36th annual Nansman Indian Powwow will take place on Pembroke Lane. Suffolk Tourism will be offering guided tours of Cedar Hill Cemetery, the Victorian Suffolk Tour, guided tour of the Cedar Hill Cemetery, the Historic Suffolk Narrated Bus Tour, the Legends of Main Street Ghost Walk Tour, and a couple of kayak excursions in Bennett's Creek, Lone Star, Lake Drummond, and Nansman River, and then the Great Dismal Swamp Safari Narrated Bus Tour. And you can call the Suffolk Visitor Center for those times and dates. And of course, you can go to any of the three departments' websites for more information on any of the programs that I talked about. There, you can also pick up a City of Suffolk program guide from any library or recreation center, and it has a lot of information in there about the different programs that we offer over the summer. One more thing that you have at your desk is 50 fun things to do in parks. This is another program we're doing to help celebrate the anniversary of the City of Suffolk. Participants who can check off 40 of the things that they've done in the park will be entered into a drawing to win a prize at the end of the month. And that's all I have for you. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have about any of the programs we have going on this summer.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Furlow. Council, questions or comments? Vice Mayor Ward?
Yeah, all right. I think it's a good one. I'm really proud, really very interested to see what's going on. A lot of things going on for the city of Suffolk, especially up there in the northern part with the library. There still were concerns. How do the kids get there? Do we still have a bus route, or how?
Yeah, we're still
on that?
offering transportation from
Right.
Pughesville Park and Magnolia. We haven't had anybody sign up for the transportation yet, but we're offering that for people to sign up for.
Let me ask you another question.
Sure.
I know one time I seen you in Huntersville. Are you going around to the civic leagues and probably let them know what's really going on? Send somebody there, that'll be a good idea.
Yeah, and actually one of our Parks and Rec commissioners is the president of the Pughesville Civic League too, so he's very aware of what we have going on as far as the transportation. But yeah, and I've been in contact with Jerry Norman
Right.
up in Huntersville. I've told her I'm willing to come out to their next meeting. I don't think that she told me she would get a hold of me the next time they had a meeting scheduled. So
When you decide to come, could you let me know? Because I'll make sure that I'll go around and try to make sure you have a good people attendance, at least for that.
Yep.
That special time I can help with her with that. And when you said something about disability, what type of disability you gonna have?
So it can range any type of disabilities. We do try to, we do our best to accommodate individuals with disabilities in our Planet Recreation program, our summer camp. But there are some individuals that require a little more attention, and that's what the Camp Limitless is offered for.
The reason why I ask, I have a brother that I'll probably be keeping during the summertime. He's in a wheelchair, and I don't know what type of activity you might have, That's why I asked that, so.
Yeah, it's a lot of the same activities that we do in our Planet Recreation. They're just modified for individuals with disabilities so that they can participate.
Right, and then you said, I see you got, like line dance and all that. That's in all the facilities?
No, I believe the line dancing class is offered at East Suffolk Recreation Center right now.
Okay, so how could all right, I just wanted to make sure. You think about bringing it up there? We got some older folks up there too.
Yeah, we can take a look at that, yeah.
Right. Well, like I said, man, I really think you did a great job, and I'm gonna brag on a little bit about this here. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
God bless.
Councilman Rector?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mark, all I want to do is just echo the Vice Mayor's last comments and thank you guys for putting this program together. I know that the summertime is a difficult time, for a lot of parents to try to find good and creative activities for their kids to participate in. And I think the wide variety of stuff that you've got offered, not only for the kids, but also for the adults, nobody should be bored this summer. And I just want to thank you I know it takes a lot of effort and creativity to come up with all these different activities and then get them all coordinated with where they have to be and get them staffed and whatnot. So I just wanted to thank you guys for all the work you did.
Thank you.
Councilman Fawcett?
Thanks, Mayor. Appreciate it. Mark, great presentation. There's a lot in this folder that you gave us tonight. A couple of things, that East Suffolk pool that's over there, we did a lot of work redesigning that pool, and I hope that everybody will come out and take advantage of using that this year.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's going to be some offering of swim classes of some sort for those kids that may need some help to learn how to swim. I don't know where you're at with that.
We are hoping to be able to offer swim lessons again this summer. We're actually trying to find a swimming instructor and lifeguard. So if anybody knows a swim instructor or a lifeguard that's looking for a job, we are hiring. Please go to the City of Suffolk HR website and put in your application.
Okay, great. Just a couple other things. The farmers markets, we had one kicked off up at Bridgeport just this past week or so. Big hit. I would wish and hope that people would come out and go to these farmers markets, because some of the local growers are certainly putting some great products out there. There's other items out there that can be purchased also, but we need to have them come out and support these farmers markets so they'll be wanting to come and continue to do these. So I hope that this will encourage a lot of folks to come out. The other thing I want to say, that this is going to be one of the coolest things, is the west side at the silos up at Bridgeport. This is like nothing else that is around in Suffolk at this point. It's going to be a great entertainment up there on those nights. It's going to be available. They've done a lot of work on those silos. I hope everybody will come out and take advantage of it, check it out. It's pretty cool, and I'm glad it's up on my end of town, because people are flocking to that area for that entertainment. He had it out in the middle of the courtyard in the previous summers, but now he can move it over to where the West Side Burger's at, in conjunction with the silos, and it's a game changer. It's really great. So with everything that has in this folder, there isn't anybody that should be bored about not having somewhere to go and have fun. So thanks for the presentation, and this is good information, because we can use this when people ask questions about what can we do right here. So thank you.
Councilman Bennett?
Thank you. Mark, just a couple of questions.
Sure.
I know a lot of people in some areas don't have computers and all that, so they have churches in those areas. Is there any way that you could put some of this literature in the churches, get with the church and let them have some of that type, some of this literature, where people that don't know or can't get online or what, come to the library or whatever,
Yeah.
maybe the parents or somebody at church could help them out with getting this information out.
Sure, and we do put it at other locations. I don't have a list of all the locations with me right now, but we put it out at other locations. I know City Hall is also a spot, and there's some other local businesses that we take and leave those out, but we can look at adding some churches on there too.
Yeah, I would appreciate it, because I know some areas that, I would use the East Washington Street area, and some of the other areas that some people might not have the information, be able to get the information.
Sure.
And if it's posted in the churches, then they're going to churches.
Yep.
Going to church, so maybe they'll be able to pick that up.
Okay.
At church. But it's a lot of information here, and a lot of time people try to say it's not much to do, but if they have that information, then they can't say they don't know what, they don't have anything to do. So that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
We need to get more information out to the public.
Yeah.
Okay?
Vice Mayor Ward?
You said, what's the age limit for the for swimming lifeguard?
For lifeguard, you have to be 16 years old.
16. Okay.
Yes.
When you're talking, I don't know if you have it here. Y'all got to forgive me. We had swimming teams in high school in New York. I don't know. You have swimming teams down here?
Yeah.
Okay. Wouldn't it be something that you can let the people at the high school know you hiring at 18 or?
Yeah, we typically reach out to the high schools and let them know about those employment opportunities for lifeguarding. And we've reached out to the swim teams specifically.
Okay. So you're already doing that?
Yeah.
Okay. All I want to say is not. I just want to hear other people telling me what's going on. You know what I mean? Then I know y'all doing it, whatever. Even like what Councilman said, you know, it take a little extra work, and I'm a ground game guy. Somebody can go to, they got a Bible study. Just to show that we try anything, if you can't do on a Sunday, but everybody might go to Bible study and pass it on to some of the churches. I don't think that's too much, asking too much. It don't take that long, and that we increase that, at least people know what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay? Because I'm going to help you when you, let me know when you come to Huntersville.
Okay.
And I'll be there. God bless you.
Councilman Bennett?
Yeah, I have one other, I said two things, I didn't ask to do one. And I don't know if I should ask Kevin this, you. Last year, we had the farmers market on East Washington Street, and then they moved it down to the rec center. Are we still having that done this year? Okay, because I think that's a sort of food desert area with vegetables and whatnot, so I think we need to try and continue to have that down on that end of town. Okay, thank you.
Council, any other questions or comments? Mark, thank you very much for your presentation. It definitely continues to amaze me exactly how much we do have to offer our citizens. Lots of times folks say, I don't think there's much to do, and it's just that they don't know how much there is that they can do. But it's spread across the city. The diversity of what we offer is really a little bit of something for everyone. So hopefully our citizens will avail themselves of the opportunity. I've got one question in regards to the Saturday cinema. Is that at Bennett's Creek?
It's going to rotate around. We'll do one at Bennett's Creek. There's going to be one at the new Downtown Festival
That's what
Park.
I was thinking.
I believe we're doing one out in Holland, and there's one more location that's escaping me
Okay,
right now. But
gotcha.
that information's in the program guide. It has the locations.
Yeah, it seemed like it'd be a natural for the festival part.
Yep.
Really, for that whole area, for those folks to be able to look at how many people you would actually have to, that would be able to walk to it.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I'm glad to hear that that's the case. And I will put a little, I'll put an advertisement out there for you for the lifeguard job. My younger son, Jonathan, was the very first lifeguard at Cypress Pool when they opened. And it's probably one of the most memorable, enjoyable summers he had. And I think he was 16. Yeah, I think I was the first one. I think he was 16, and he really enjoyed the experience that he had working there, and that was before all the improvements. So I'll just get that out there if anyone's listening.
Thank you.
So with that being said, thank you very much, and we'll move on to our next topic, which is a transit update. Mr. Manager?
Yes, Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of council. Robert Lewis, Director of Public Works, will do the introductions for tonight's presentation.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, and members of council, city staff. We have before you this evening, I'm bringing up Maria Petrosky, our transit manager, and she's just going to give us kind of an annual update of where we are in our transit system, some of the things we see coming out in the future, and just some of the issues ongoing. So, Maria?
Good evening. Just going to give you a little bit of an update of some of the things that we're looking forward to doing with Suffolk Transit. Just a quick little overview. We still operate our 6 fixed routes Monday through Saturday, with the exception of our red route. That one just operates Monday through Friday right now. They all originate or terminate inside of the city of Suffolk. On weekdays, the newer thing from my last update is we now operate from 6:30 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. when we used to end at 6:30 in the evening. With the exception of the orange route does start a little bit earlier, so we can help people make that first connection to that 6:30 bus with the other routes. And then the red route right now ends at 6:30 instead of the 8:30, just because of some of the doctor's offices and things that it does serve, but we haven't seen a big need for that one to end at 8:30 when we have our green route that can pick up some of the slack when that route ends. Right now, we still operate on Saturdays from 7:30 in the morning until 4:30 p.m. We still have our ADA service that is within 3/4 of a mile of all of our fixed routes. So if there's an individual that is unable to use fixed route due to a disability, they have the ability to get out into the city of Suffolk using our paratransit service. All of our vehicles are equipped with a bike rack, so if you are someone that has a little bit of a travel time between your place of residence or your place of work trying to get to a bus, you can ride your bike and you can put it right on that bike rack. Same thing if you're getting off at a stop and you have a little bit of a trek to get where you're going, you have your bike to make it a little bit more convenient. And we still provide our service to 2 of the park and ride lots. The lot on Portsmouth Boulevard next to Royal Farms, and then we have the lot on off of Godwin down Burnett's Way.
Maria, if I real quickly.
Yeah.
Council, at your seats, you have the schedule of routes, and in there's a map of the routes themselves. May help you as Maria goes along.
Yeah, absolutely. Inside of that, we have pictures of all of our routes. It has all of our bus stops on there, so they're a really good visual of where we have service inside of the city. Some of the service improvements that we are looking to do, we currently have on order 5 new 25-foot, 21-passenger buses to replace some of the older vehicles that have reached their useful life. We also have one new 27-passenger bus on order to allow us to have one more larger diesel engine vehicle. So those were ordered towards the beginning of this month. There's about an 18-month lead time between ordering and receiving the buses, but we are excited to be able to get some new vehicles and be able to get some of those buses that have aged out of service. Currently, for FY25, we are looking to engage a consultant to begin the research and development of an on-demand transportation system for service inside of Chuckatuck, Holland, and Whaleyville, which is slated to begin FY28. So what that means is we will create some on-demand zones inside of those boroughs that will allow people to travel within those if they have destinations they need to get to, as well as being able to bring them into Suffolk, and they'll be able to connect to our fixed route to travel even more places around Suffolk. We recognize that there's a need for some transportation options inside of those boroughs that they don't have right now. So that is one of the things that we're really looking forward to creating for the very first time, is some service out in those 3 particular areas to start. In FY26, our goal is to introduce that red route on the Saturdays so that our transportation looks the same Monday through Saturday, so you're not having to guess which routes are operating when. We would hope to realign our orange route into what we would call the orange route and the blue route, and that will just break up a very large loop we have right now and turn it into a more bi-directional service, which will in turn actually create more service on Portsmouth Boulevard than we currently have, as well as adding service to some areas on Carolina Road that we don't touch right now. We will begin construction of a bus pullout on College Drive, across from the Kroger Shopping Center, to allow a much safer way for us to stop the bus on College Drive as it's become more populous up there. And then we plan to begin our commuter route that will go from Suffolk to Victory Crossing in Portsmouth, which will link up to a big HRT hub. So we'll have the ability to move people that are trying to get into Suffolk for work, as well as people that need to find ways to commute outside of the city of Suffolk. We've had lots of comments on finding a way to connect more to some of the other regions. So we're really hopeful about creating that ability to get to jobs, especially in Suffolk, as we are seeing our warehouse network grow as much. So we know that there's employment opportunities here in the city of Suffolk, and we want to make it convenient for people that don't necessarily have vehicles to get there. And then we will also begin our commuter route from Suffolk to Windsor, which will also touch inside of the Shirley T. Commerce Park to allow people access to jobs there. Same with people in Windsor that have needs to come into the city of Suffolk. We will allow them to now have transportation as an option to do that. We had buy-in from Windsor when we did our Smart Scale application. They supplied us with letters of support to want to work with us for this particular route. They are going to redo the park and ride that they have in Windsor for us to utilize that as one of the major stops for the bus. And then bus stop improvements, we are continuing to look at bus stops to increase accessibility and comfort for passengers. We already have a concrete pad as well as a bench and a trash can at our Suburban and Portsmouth stop, but we do recognize a need for a bus shelter out there. So we will be working to install a bus shelter in that area and removing the bench. We are beginning research into trying to add a concrete pad and a bus shelter at the Pewsville Park bus stop. We've had some interest in that from passengers, so we're looking to see how much right-of-way we have in that area to figure out how we can improve some stops on that Pewsville area. And then we are looking to improve the bus stop on Prudent Boulevard at Leda Avenue. We know that Virginia Legal Aid is out there and some different businesses, so we have a bus stop there, but we would like to make it more accessible and safer since it is on a busy stretch of Prudent Boulevard. And then in general, we are always looking and researching and listening to the passengers about bus stops that they would like to see improved with different means of accessibility. And that is all I have as my update. If you guys have any questions, I am happy to answer them.
Thank you, Maria. Council, Vice Mayor Ward.
Yes, I'm glad you mentioned it because I was thinking about it, about the warehouses. I
Yes.
was really thinking about that. I don't know how long it's going to take. I haven't seen one. But what I'm saying that Amazon, I don't know, I'm not saying get up 4:30 in the morning like me, but I'm telling you, New York and lease, all them people getting in them cars. And like you say, I'm not concerned about the connection with other cities. I'm talking about the city of Suffolk working. We got all the warehouses. I hope y'all get that started and let the people know that these kids who can't they can get there. I don't know, express or whatever. That's something I'd like for you to continue if you're not doing it, even do it better, because I think that's a good idea with that warehouse we got. You're building a warehouse, we need people that know they can get to work.
Absolutely, and actually, I just had a meeting with Amazon yesterday, because we already have a bus stop out at the Amazon facility that's off of Northgate, and we are currently working with them to put a bus shelter out there. So they are in the process of looking at their site plans so they can figure out where we can put a bus shelter out in that area, since they do know that they have plenty of workers that are in fact using that bus stop. So we are currently working to improve that particular stop.
All right, thank you.
Councilman Fawcett?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for the presentation. There's a lot of routes here, and we've expanded since the first time we've started this immensely. It's really taken on a different look. I noticed in front of Nasmith River High School, there's a bus pad there and a bench.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'd like to see
More
shelters there, because I have a bench there so people can sit in the rain while they're waiting for a bus or can't get out of the bad weather. So if we're going to put these pads, we should be looking aggressively to put the shelters there. These shelters I see on the back page is what I see in some of the locality areas, and it's pretty nice, actually. And it gives them an opportunity to get out from underneath the weather for a few minutes. So I would like us to concentrate. If we're going to
More
put
on shelters.
pads, put a shelter. If we ain't going to put a shelter, then what's the point of having a bus stop if people are going to stand in the rain?
No, absolutely, and that is typically our goal, is that we start with the bench, because it's at least something while we work through the process of getting the bus shelters, just because they are a little bit more on the expensive side of things, so we have to make sure we have the funding for them. So at least we like to start so that they have something, and then we further the improvement by adding shelters.
And I do like that you're expanding out a little bit. Particularly, Windsor came on and decided they were going to play in the sandbox with us to make sure that we can get some people moved around. And at the same time, as Vice Mayor Ward said, you know, some of these warehouse locations are, he mentioned Amazon, and I happen to be living up that way, and if you go there, you know, 5:30, 6:30 in the morning, it's a battle zone at that location where people are coming and going. They work around the clock pretty much, as you know, probably going out there. So, you know, whatever we can do to enhance some of these areas that we have large concentrations of employees, it may catch on that we can get some of those moving around internal in a city. Even if they have to, you know, we go up to, I think it's Chesapeake Square Mall at the bus stop there. I think you make a loop there to come back. So it even gets them out of that area if they have to, up to that point to catch another transit. So you're doing a lot of great things, and you're concentrating on those areas. That's terrific, and I appreciate it.
Thank you.
So thank you.
Councilman Bennett?
I would just like for you to take a look at Portsmouth Boulevard and Nassau Park. We're right there by the 7-Eleven.
Okay.
I see quite a few people stands there waiting for the bus, and I don't know where they're coming from. Usually when I pass by, there's usually 2 or 3 people.
Okay.
So just take a look at it
Okay.
and see whether or not it's a place you could put a stop there. Well,
Okay.
it's a stop there, but I'm
But
talking
actually
about
improve it a little bit.
Right.
Add this. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll look at that one.
Okay, take a look at it for me, please. Thanks.
Councilman Williams?
Yes, very impressive schedules of routes. You guys really put together a really nice package.
Thank you.
So I'm really excited about it. I'm even more excited about the possibilities of you doing something in the Holland and the Wellerville area. You know, people out there need transportation here. I think it's a great idea. So when do you think that will be implemented?
Right now, it's slated to be implemented in FY '28, just
Okay.
because it will take a lot of funding operationally.
Okay.
So it's set a little bit further out so that we can get all of everything we need in order to start the service. But that is our goal, is FY '28. And if we are able to come up with funding earlier than that, then that's always something we will look at doing sooner.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Council, any other questions or comments? I think Mr.
Mr.
Lewis
Mayor, if I
might
might
have
add in, one thing we really didn't talk about is we have a really cool application, phone application
yeah.
that goes along with this, that you can get that, and if you're a passenger, you can see exactly where your bus is at all time. So like someone coming out of the Walmart and it's 100 degrees outside, they can look and say, well, the bus is going to be 15 minutes before it gets there. So they don't necessarily need to walk out in the weather ahead of time and stand there too long. They can time their trip to the stop. And again, they get there and they can see how soon to pick them up and about when to get them where they need. So again, I believe all of that's highlighted in the brochure, but that's also one of the really, really neat tools that we have that we're using to help enhance our transit system within the city and make it more user-friendly.
Inside the brochure, actually, you'll see where it talks about ETA Spot, and that is the app. It's available on Android and iOS. So if you have an Apple phone, you can go to your app store and you can download the app.
You just answered the question I was going to pop, because nobody's going to probably see the book, but to get it on their iPhone where they can look at all the different schedules and routes, that or the Android, either one, that's going to be the ticket right there. So I'm glad they can go to the app. And
Yeah, they can go to the
everybody
app.
out there in Wonderland, you go to the app, you
Correct.
can get it, and you can find where these buses are at and get around. Thanks.
And in fact, at every bus stop, and I won't swear that they're all still there, but we started at every bus stop, there was a small sign with the QR code. So literally, if you walked up and you didn't have anything else, you could take the picture with your phone and instantly get the app and download it. It's usually on the
sign.
signpost. So you have the signpost with the colored flags on it, and down a little bit lower, it's about 3-inch square, and it's just a QR code that you can snap the picture with your phone and download it right there.
But yeah, it makes things very convenient. Every bus stop that we have is listed on there. So if you're standing at a stop, all you do is click on your stop and it'll let you know how many minutes you have until your next bus is going to be there.
Council, any other questions or comments? If not, Maria, thank you very much for your presentation. I was paying particular attention to the map, and it appears to me that you really, the way the routes are, you've just about touched everything that you can possibly touch as far as workforce centers, medical care, shopping, the type of destinations that the majority of our citizens would be interested in, be able to have access to. And the fact that you're also going out to Northgate is pretty impressive. And with some of the initiatives that we got going on, we mentioned about warehousing and that sort of thing. You know, the transportation piece is a big piece of it. So once again, I appreciate all the time and effort that's gone into it. How are you seeing ridership? Has it been level, or do you think it's increasing?
It's been
with the
going, it's
price?
actually been increasing some. We had some dips after COVID, like most transit agencies. A lot of it just because life changed, the world changed. There was more teleworking and different things. So we did see a dip from that, but we are starting to see that those numbers start to build back up, and we're getting more and more new faces onto the buses that we haven't had before.
Now, you would think that with the price of fuel going up, that would increase some too. And you mentioned working with Amazon, but do most of these workforce centers or business entities know that service is available, and do they put it out, do you think, to their employees?
Yes, they do. We've made sure that they are well aware, and some of it, like QVC, we've added some information to their new hire process so that they do realize that there are bus routes that are inside of the area. So we make sure that they are well aware that there are options outside of driving a car.
Okay, my last question has to do with the buses. I think it wasn't too long ago, we were able to acquire a grant for an electric bus or hybrid bus, whatever they call them now. Are those still available, or the buses we got coming, are they gas or
These
they
are
electric?
these are currently gas, but we are working to find a good vehicle for the electric grants. So we are still working with, it took a little bit for there to be a state grant option for an electric bus, because there's been some changes with all of that as they've been trying to figure out the best way to make a bus electric. But we still do plan to order 2 electric buses.
Or is it strictly state grants, or they have state and federal?
They have state and federal, so this is actually a federal grant, and then we're working with vehicles that are on the state contract to be able to order the electric buses. And they now have some good options, so we're working. Our next piece is to have those on order.
Yeah, you would think that the feds actually had a lot of grant opportunities out there as much as they're pushing hybrid vehicles. You know.
Yeah, which is how we got our
Yeah,
grant we got was
even
through.
Even on passenger cars. This isn't an advertisement, by the way. But if you lease a hybrid, then there's tax incentives that normally start about $6,500 and can run to almost $8,000, and that's just on a regular passenger vehicle. So I was just curious as to what they may have for buses and mass transit. You think they'd have something substantial?
They do, and actually, one of the things as we are working towards creating an actual transit operations facility, and one of the pieces as we are developing that and we're doing the parking lot area, we are going to include infrastructure for charging electric vehicles. So we know that is where things are going in the future, so we are working to already go that direction, including that in our improvements.
Okay, well, keep up the good work. I'm glad to hear
Thank
that we
you.
mentioned Chuckatuck. I've been mentioning Chuckatuck for a few years back to see if we can get a route there, so I'm glad we still got it on the table.
It's there.
All right, thank you very much.
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry. Councilman Williams.
Yeah, I got one more question.
Yep.
I'm just curious, where it lists the different bus stops, beside each bus stop or transfer station, you got a number in parentheses. What is that?
That's just a number that relates to the stop number on ETA. So for everything to work together, the brochures, the website, and ETA, they all have to look the same. So the numbers are that's just a stop number. So essentially, like if you look at that, that just means we have that many stops. Like if it's number 158, that happens to be stop number 158 of our system.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, that concludes our work session. We do have a need for a closed meeting this afternoon. Madam Clerk, will you please read the motion for consideration?
Number 1, pursuant to Virginia Code Sections 2.2-3711A8 and A1, the consultation with legal counsel employed by a public body regarding specific legal matters requiring the legal advice of such counsel, and the discussion, consideration, or interviews of prospective candidates for appointment and the assignment, appointment, and performance of specific public officers or appointees of the city. Specifically, the appointments as shown on the attached list for vacancies or term expirations for the Agricultural Advisory Committee, the Clean Community Commission, the Community Policy and Management Team, the Early Childhood Development Commission, the Human Services Advisory Board, the Local Board of Building Code Appeals, the Sister Cities Commission, the Suffolk Redevelopment and Housing Authority, and the Tidewater Youth Services Commission. Item number 2, pursuant to Virginia Code Section 2.2-3711A3, the discussion or consideration of the acquisition of real property for a public purpose or of the disposition of publicly held real property where discussion in an open meeting would adversely affect the bargaining position or negotiating strategy of the public body, specifically tax map number 10*46.
Councilman Fawcett,
Move to approve.
we have a motion for approval from Councilman Fawcett. Councilman Williams.
Second, Mayor.
Second from Councilman Williams. Do we have any discussion of the motion? Hearing none, council members prepare to vote. Please cast your vote. Madam Clerk, please record the vote.
Motion is approved by a vote of 8-0.
We stand adjourned and we will reconvene at 6 p.m.